Hey, Michelle LLC. Actually, no, Miss Michelle LLC. So I'm incorporating two of my names, Miss Long and Miss Michelle, and a couple of my names, Michelle LLC. Interestingly enough, I'm doing a different workout today. Well, I'm going to be walking with my son shortly, but I'm doing a different workout today, the one that empowers the mind and allows the mind to connect. So I've been laying in the sun and just enjoying the energy that I'm getting from the earth and just my surroundings. It's beautiful. But I wanted to just kind of briefly touch on something I spoke about yesterday regarding muscle memory and muscle release. So this morning I woke up and I had this lovely little juicy friend on my chin, and I realized that in my detoxing, in these things that I'm purging and that we're going to be purging and we're doing, where we are allergies, we are truly going to be seeing stuff coming from our systems, whether that be our muscles, whether that be our thoughts, whether that be our bodies, because in the memory of my muscles, in the releasing of chemicals in my muscles, there's also the burning of the fat, the burning of the padding, the extra that I'm carrying around, because that too has something in it. So the fat cells have toxins stored in them. I know of people that used to smoke a lot of weed and stopped, but when they were smoking, they were running. They stopped running. They started doing other things, went back to running, and they felt high when they were jumping back into that trait or that experience, that action, that exercise, because their body during that time was storing things that they were doing during that time. And I've also heard of individuals that were going through some really traumatic times and took up an activity like running or swimming or working out or something along that got their body burning fuels, right? And years later, they went back to that activity, and what they found was that their body was responding to the same thing. Like they were crying, like pouring down tears, hysterical crying because they went running. And they're like, what is going on? Like, I was fine. Like, I'm fine. I went out running, and the next thing I know is I can't run anymore because I'm crying so hard. But what they didn't realize is that when they were going through their traumatic experience, they were using running as a coping mechanism to help them move through the experience. And so their body built up things and memories and just the chemicals around that were stored in their muscles and stored in their fat. So when they went back to release or recover and go back to how they were, those things were released. So I think it's really important to remember that there is nothing that is not connected. We are all connected. We are connected through our experiences. We're connected through the things that are around us. And, there is always a connection. So one of the things that's really interesting to me is this whole idea of something being genetically created, especially with the virus going around, and how every time something has hit the planet, it's almost as though a certain group of people are hit, and that certain group of people experience something, but then it goes somewhere completely different, and it's out of the control of the creator's hands. Creator being the person that created the chaos, and that the earth takes over and it becomes something that is not manageable. And I really, really think that that's something it's something I'm thinking about recently, is about managing the chaos and learning how everything is going to be chaos. There's chaos, there's always chaos. But it's about learning how to manage it. It's learning how to direct it and having structured chaos. And I just had a conversation with a friend of mine who is helping me set up my website and stuff. And he was sharing how for him to stay focused, he has to have managed chaos, scheduled chaos to kind of break up the monotony. And I just was amazed by that because it keeps coming up. So I just kind of, if I'm not a big I'm not a video playing fan, or video game fan. I'm not somebody who is like a Game of Thrones kind of person. I do, however, love Harry Potter. But I highly suggest you, if you're home, if you're feeling what I'm talking about, if you're just kind of like, I just want to know how her brain works. I do too. I do. No, I know. I would suggest watching The Witcher. Not for the aesthetics, but really listening to what is being said. Really pay attention to what is being shared in the story. There's a lot of things that are out there, and I'll keep thinking of other things. Even the CJ or Madam CJ Walker, powerful story about like the power that we have. Now I feel that there was some add-ins once I found out that Addie, the woman that was her adversary in real life, was a dark woman like herself, and was they worked together, and they both were self-made millionaires and were both well-renowned individuals of their time in the 40s and 30s and 40s. Like, there was no reason to add that animosity between women in the story, personally. Because their story, their real story was powerful, and it should have been told and would unite us as women, because there's no reason for us to be battling each other. We literally have a stronger power when we come together in our goddess sisterhood. That's just fact. And when we understand how our bodies work, and we know what is going on, and we can identify it in each other and say, hey, I think you're having this. It creates community where we become healthy and we become strong, and we can ward off all these things that are happening that are set up to divide us, like social distancing. Yes, it's a definite necessity if we're going to keep certain things from each other, but social distancing doesn't mean disconnecting. And so it's super important to me to make sure that we stay connected. And I'm going to have some things going on where there's an invitation to connect. Yay. So anyways, I just wanted to share that other part of the loveliness of detoxing, of starting a workout routine, the things that are going to come back to you when you're really pushing it, when you're really getting into it, and you're like, okay, you know what? I'm doing this. I'm really doing it. There are things that are going to come up that you're going to feel like, what is happening? And it's normal. It's expected, and it's a gift. So with that being said, have a wonderful day. Get outside, talk to your kids, wash your hands, get good rest, eat well, do the things that are necessary to keep yourself healthy. It's really just that simple. Keep yourself healthy and connect. All right. Love you tons. Deuces.